One of the significant games for Week 12 will happen on NBC and Peacock. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Los Angeles Rams, a rematch of a playoff game from the 2021 season that helped propel the Rams' most recent Super Bowl run. This one has storylines. This one has implications, different levels and layers of desperation. The Rams trying very hard to nail down the number one seed. They'll know by the time the game starts whether or not the Eagles win or lose. If the Eagles should lose, that would give the Rams a chance to take a one-game lead for the one seed. And the Buccaneers, don't look now. But the Carolina Panthers are closing in and potentially going to end the hammerlock the Buccaneers have had on the NFC South. That's one of the weirdest, most really under-discussed storylines of the year, that the Panthers are no longer a flaming sack of something that you don't want on your porch.
Jeez. That's how you toss it to me? My
Myles?
God. The Panthers, I mean, the Panthers.
Hey, just be happy. Just be happy it doesn't show up on your porch.
Yeah, right? Or nobody's throwing a drink on me. I mean, but the Panthers have a big opportunity, right? Going to the Bay Area. They're playing, the 49ers on Monday night. But I think that the Bucs, just as a concept, I was surprised that the Buccaneers didn't end up winning that game against the Bills last week because they were playing really, really well. Sean Tucker had a great game, not just running the ball, but in the passing game as well. Baker Mayfield was playing well. They punted on a fourth down that was critical, 4th and 2, and it was, midway through the fourth quarter, and that's pretty much why they lost that game, because they gave Josh Allen the chance to hold serve again. He does. He goes down the field. He ends up scoring 6 touchdowns in that game. So the Bucs are still a good team. They're just going through some injury stuff right now. And when you don't have some of your top guys, some of your top weapons, it's definitely going to hurt you offensively. But Baker Mayfield's still playing very, very well. I think it's going to be probably interesting for him to come back to Los Angeles, a place where, they had that crazy game against the Raiders, which I get in 2022, which seems a lot more recent than it actually was, where he comes in 48 hours later, they beat the Raiders. I was at that game. It was awesome. But now it's a different situation. Now Baker Mayfield really is a franchise quarterback, and he's going to be taking on a defense that has been one of the game's better units over the course of this season. So I'm interested to see how he performs against what's been really a solid defense coordinated by Chris Shula this year.
Yeah, I could see this one go either way. I mean, the Rams dodged a bullet against the Seahawks on Sunday. They arguably should have lost that game. They didn't capitalize on the 4-interception, no touchdown performance from Sam Darnold the way they could have. You see that stat line, you assume it's a blowout. Oh, it came down to a 60-yard field goal that the Seahawks could have made to win the game and take over the top spot in the NFC West. So I really don't have a good feel for this one. I wonder if Aaron Donald, who's going to be honored at halftime, will suit up for the second half if things aren't going well. Because even though he said yesterday he doesn't miss football and he knew at the start of the 2023 season he wasn't going to play beyond that year, the guy could still play if he wanted to. That's what's amazing. He's one of the few players, because usually football moves on from you. The piece comes out of the machine and a new piece gets put in. He voluntarily jumped out of the machine and moved on. And just think of how much better they would have been the past couple of years if he was still playing.
Well, they would have been so much better, but also, I mean, they wouldn't have the same structure on defense that they do now if that had been the case, right? I don't know that they get Braden Fisk and Jared Verse if they still had Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald allows you to do so many other different things. But man, if he came back right now with what they've got going with Brian Young and Jared Verse and, Nate Landman, I mean, that would be really, really, really fun to watch. But, unfortunately for us as football fans, Aaron Donald felt complete. He felt full. And, having been around him for as much of his career that I was, it made sense to me when he decided to hang it up and how he decided to hang it up. I'm really looking forward to being there on Sunday night as he gets honored, because he was one of the all-time greats in this game. And you wrote it last night, Mike. I mean, he's a walk-in Hall of Famer. Still got a couple years for that to happen, but I mean, It's so obvious from what he was able to put on the field.
And the Vikings drafted Anthony Barr instead of Aaron Donald. And the Lions drafted Eric Ebron instead of Aaron Donald. I just want to point that out because I was all over back in 2014. I was all over Aaron Donald, but you're always undersized. Metrics, analytics. He's not big enough. And okay, fine. Pass over him at your own risk.
The Rams passed over him too, The Rams drafted Greg Robinson at number 2 overall and then came back and drafted Aaron Donald with their second first-round pick in the teens in that first round. So, it's one of those things that, we don't need to talk about that.
He was too small to be the number 2 pick. He was too short to be the number 2 pick.
But, hey, look what he did.
It's just another example of how you never know with any of these guys. And when you watch the draft coverage, it's all, this guy's awesome, this guy's awesome, this guy's awesome. We know how it goes. There's a ceiling, and nobody knows where the ceiling is. And for Aaron Donald, there was no ceiling. Right. I remember when he was holding out one year, Les Snead was on the show, whatever iteration or existence it was, PFT, PM, this, that, whatever. And he actually said, it's kind of good he's not here because we can't practice with Aaron Donald on the field. We can't do a walkthrough. He's throwing bodies everywhere. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.